Welcome back, YouTube, to It's D&D.
Metal for life.
Let's begin.
So, in the last episode of It's D&D, Metal for Life, a druid, another player character, appeared out of an ember and landed on the ground and said some things and pointed around, and as he landed there, he turned to ash. But as he faded from the ash, you heard put it around his neck. And at which point the orc decided to
run over to pick up the necklace and go put it around.
As you pick up the necklace, your dwarven swords fall off your belt or whatever they were attached to and land on the ground as you pick it up.
Okay, so I'll pick up my weapons.
You can't pick them up, your hands go right through them.
It's a relic. It's a fucking... No, stop. Oh, shit.
I run over to Nostar.
Perseus.
I run over to Nostar.
Perseus is sitting on top of the sheathed mummy, and he's looking at you like, huh.
Yeah, homie. Perseus.
Yep, just... Ow. So, what do you do?
I'm just gonna run over to Nostar and put it around his neck.
Alright, so it's around his neck, and as it comes around his neck, Nostar armor changes. He's wearing like full plate mail now, that's head to toe. You can barely see even a slit through his eyes.
Nice.
And there's a small gauge out that moves out a little bit right on his faceplate. It's a full faceplate with a little gauge here that moves down a little bit, and you can see just a little bit of his mouth.
That's a fucking robo.
And it's at the top. It's got 3 ridges. There's a ridge here, and a ridge here on the helmet. The helmet connects directly in to the neck piece. There's no seams to it. It's completely formed around his body. There aren't any seams on anything yet. He's still able to move very quickly. He's still able to move at like the rate of what you would be wearing, like say like scale armor or leather armor. Yeah, you know, scale is a little bit more because it still weighs. It still has a good amount of weight to it. Across the chest, there's a gold-looking cross that moves down it and across it. Across both the chest.
It's Templar.
Both the chest piece and the back piece. It's like the cross is like a straight line from here down and goes like literally under his crotch and back up to the top of his neck, and the lines here go straight across. So it makes 2 crosses on his front and back, but it's a never-ending motion with 2 crosses on it. And there's also seams down his arms that come from his hands. The gold seam ends right here, and they come up and make another cross there, and another cross there with the bands that are going around him. So there's a total of 4 golden stripes there, and 1 golden stripe that goes around. The leg pieces are individually shaped, and there's small ridges that come up off the top of each knee. 3 of them just like on top of the helmet, and the feet point out to like a cone, to like a pointed cone, like an actual like sharp point. And instantaneously, Nostar's like, I'm heavy. You just hear him just like all of a sudden he puts the necklace on him and Nostar's all, I'm heavy. And the Lich in his prime was pretty good dude. Put it that way. He was a pretty badass dude.
Fucking hell.
Oh, and also the druid, when he popped in, he walked over to the vampire it was laying there decapitated, its body still laying on the ground, and picked up something off of him before he disappeared. Somehow, he magically did. He magically got there. He landed right next to the vampire, and as he was saying that shit, he was reaching down and picking it up. He's like, dude, you guys should really like do something with that necklace. You know that necklace over there? See that necklace over there? Yeah, that one over there? Okay, yeah, okay. Alright, and then he just disappeared. Like, oh yeah, shit.
Put it on him.
I have to transport back through that ember. He knew that he had to go back through the ember before the ember disappeared. So he went back through the ember before it disappeared. That's why he just basically turns to ash. He just launches back through the ember, and he's sitting back in the fucking tavern and looking at this fucking item.
Ship.
On the ship. He's in the fucking ship, holding down the ship, and he's looking at this fucking item, and he just kind of fucking sets it down on the table. And at some point, I'll have to grab your character sheet and put that item in your sheet. Or you can do it yourself because you're here. It's not in here.
I don't really exist. That's a shame.
He's in a
new older ship.
That's in silver movie empty batch.
You want?
It's behind the laundry basket. We'll get it later.
All right, we'll do it later. But basically, what the weapon is it's a small dagger with a small dagger with a you can write it down. It's a small dagger with a platinum handle and a gold jeweled encased scabbard with a electrium chain that fits as a belt loop that hangs slightly from the body.
Okay.
So it hangs kind of loosely.
Wait, so it's jeweled gold?
Yeah, gold jeweled scabbard
With a electrium
with an electrium chain.
chain belt loop that hangs low off the socket.
You don't have to write all that, but you can put
Write
electrium
it all.
belt electric chain, yeah. Oh, now write it all in cursive. Just kidding.
No, write it all. How did you do that? Write it all in Sanskrit.
Write it in Sanskrit on the board 50 times. Teacher commands it.
I want you to make sure.
No, write it in petroglyphs, bitch.
Okay, so that is now in your inventory. You have yet another little fun dagger to play with now.
Me and my daggers.
Oh yeah. Make me sad, Kyle.
You not gonna play?
Well, I need to get them. Like that.
Anyway,
What?
Nothing.
Party initiative.
party initiative.
Again?
It's fucking road.
There's no game.
You were.
There's no battle going on.
Oh, okay.
Battle is
Like
over.
initiative. Wait, I have to roll that again? Wait, I thought
No,
we
it's
just got out
you
about it.
guys'
Position
initiative.
yellow.
Oh.
You get to do whatever you want.
That's why I said party initiative.
Okay. I guess I missed the part.
Well, how about we just try to look for a way out?
Okay. So, party initiative. Do as you will.
I look around the room.
Wait.
On every wall.
recording?
All the ceilings.
Or just open the window. That'll probably
Are we
blow up.
recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording. Since I
Okay.
started talking. And we all went to D&D.
Yeah.
Oh shit. He's like, alright.
See, that's my phone should be away.
Oh, but I wasn't even on phone.
The whole time. The whole time.
I was talking to Kyle for a little while there.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
I pull out my Hadashi
It's stone metal D&D. You don't expect everybody to pay 100% attention all the time.
I pull out my Hadashi and it's you. I hold it in front of me and say, what I can't say it should work. Just like directing it straight to it.
I don't want to duel her.
Ooh.
Duel.
I said duel who?
You don't hear anything. You feel that
You would destroy like
it's
every one of us.
not you,
Yeah, that's why you don't spar against
and
me.
it's not the sword. It's just
That's what I sparred against. Like, I just knocked him out with one.
And
Vampire. Oh no, you killed that guy.
it works.
killed it.
I killed perfectly
Perfectly
out of it. 104.
I feel that it works fine, especially the scabbard.
How do we kill a demon?
Oh, I just tell it.
Power of Christ
know when
compels
you
you.
feel kind of
Power of
right.
Christ compels you.
So then
Whipped
I will
into
not
3
show-
pieces. Oh fuck.
Poor Thok.
I tell it, well, let me know when you feel it's ready, so that I will not show you.
Said happiness for you.
You are ready. You feel that you're already ready. You're already ready. You're ready.
Wait, so
You're like beyond ready.
no star has a
I test it and I
Yeah.
close my eyes and try to make a bow.
What do you see?
I'm imagining a bow, a beautiful, elegant, like ebony wood bow.
No,
Ebony in color,
I'm
but
just throwing out a
elven
suggestion.
wood.
I was just throwing out a suggestion.
Elven wood that is very, very, like,
Pliable? Or
no, it just
elegant engraved.
elegant in, it is a mahogany
Extravagant.
with ebony twirlings to it in the wooden parts of it.
Okay, so what's the
Photo.
next?
Gotta wait for a minute.
Oh.
Wait, no, because I can't add the other ones to it. I can add holy shield. -1.
That's still really fucking good.
His armor class went from a 2 to a -1.
Nice.
Well, I didn't think it
Sorry?
I already told you that you did, but I imagine I hold it in one hand and imagine a beautiful elven wood bow
The sword or the sheath? No,
being tightened. I hold the handle
it doesn't.
in.
It doesn't work that way. Yours is different. Okay, well then try and use it because yours is different. Because I've
I
conflicted exactly what yours is since then. So do it. Try it. Go ahead. Or percentiles. There you go. Try it.
what's up? I got one.
Right. So
A 19
what happens is she pulls the sheath out.
or 47.
And you guys didn't see it last time because you guys were in such intense combat. But she pulls the sword out, and once again, her hands drop to the ground, and she becomes completely still, and she's holding the sword. And the blade of the sword disappears, and in front of her, you see a dark shadow. And it's a female standing there with a bow, a long elven bow, and it's completely drawn. It doesn't fire it, it sits there for exactly 10 segments, and then disappears, and the blade becomes back normal, and it resheathes itself, and she puts her head back up.
Sick as fuck.
Shadow
Okay.
attacks.
I want to see if I could create something.
I
Remember,
changed
there was
the
a light
dragon.
and a shadow weapon.
I want to see if I can create a fucking tripod, like a computer crossbow on top of a tripod with the fucking weapons.
On chocolate.
Roll a percentile on a 20. Everybody roll a saving throw.
No!
14.
12.
Everybody,
You hit the Dragonborn and Nosta. Nosta's sitting there looking at his new armor, and then all of a sudden he just like starts getting hit with all these arrows that are bouncing off him, and then he's like, "Hey, stop!" And the Dragonborn's sitting there. It's fucking Theseus, and he's getting hit with all these arrows, and they're just piercing him, and he's like bleeding, and he's like, "Ow, again!"
Bleeding.
So they're gonna take roll 3d6 because they're each gonna take that much damage.
I tamed the
6,
dragon.
5.
Jesus.
12, 17.
Child. I tamed the dragon.
17.
Yeah.
It's not hard to tame. You just give it treats.
And
I've
then
given it any day.
so what happens is the left hand of your left hand becomes like a handle. The left hilt becomes like the handle of a bow that you're holding, and the right hand becomes a crank, and you're just sitting there cranking this big metal bow that's shooting slivers of metal out of it and that are just coming back.
Hold on.
It's just turning into thin slivers of metal shooting out and coming back. Because like I said, you can't cheat, and it's not really that big. It's actually kind of small. It's kind of like a little repeater. But it's actually fair. I mean, it's like probably the size of a normal crossbow.
There you go.
Alright.
You're pretty.
But it's not an actual crossbow because there's no bolts to
okay,
it.
bye, hun. Bye,
The
dragon.
metal just becomes very thin,
Wait, what? I
shoots
saw-
out and comes back. Again and again.
Oh, shit. Oh, be careful. She's a
And
vicious dragon.
and
Her fur is vicious, more vicious to
who else?
me than her scratches.
I think everybody pretty much knows their weapons and what they do.
Now.
The Dragonborn.
Good bullets.
The dragon is still sitting on the scabbard.
You want to kill the mummy, don't you?
You don't
Or you
sense
want
it,
us-
Warlock?
I walk over to the scabbard.
You sense two different magical powers. One highly more, shall I say, cold? Shall I say frosty? Shall I say stay frosty, friends? Something very cold coming from the mummy. It's cold. The scabbard itself is cold. Almost ice cold.
Is it a cold I felt before?
No. It's unique. But as you touch it, as you touch the scabbard, by the way, your arm, the metal in your arm,
One arm.
doesn't matter. The metal in your arm still, as soon as you touch it, it's still part of, it's still a soul attachment. It fades away into your hand and disappears. Your hand becomes skin again, and then as you let go of the scabbard, your hand comes back to its metal form.
What is this magic?
I wonder. I pull out my scab, my sheath, and go up and touch it to the mummy encased in it.
It
And hope it
unwraps the mummy, and the mummy's all curse.
No,
Wait,
I wasn't
fuck,
done.
hammer.
No,
Can I
instantaneously, as
just
soon as
burn
you touch
hands?
it,
Hold on.
it returns back to it.
Oh, I was gonna say hammer fist you right on his head.
No, you did. Anybody wants to attack it, it's curse. It's still cursing.
I hammer fisted his head.
Okay.
I wanted to burn
Well,
it. Well,
the mummy is pretty much dead at this point.
I just do it
The
anyway?
scabbard had already sucked it pretty much of life, but it just was sitting there right before it died. Its last words were curse. Anyway,
burn it. Have fun. My hand.
Theseus is still sitting on it, and as soon as it turns into life, he reaches into the chest of it, just pushes his hand through the mummy, and like busts out the heart, what you guys would assume was the heart of this fucking mummy, then pulls this fucking shit out and wraps it in a fucking cloth and just like tucks it away on his side And as he tucks it away on his side, fucking, it just completely disappears. Like, it's not even there anymore.
And he stole the pants.
Alchemy?
And, yeah. That just happened. And now, he looks over at you, and he says, can I see... Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. Damn it, yours is impossible. About... Can I see that Kodachi? Puts his hand out and reaches for it. She goes to drop it in his hand, and it just falls right through his hand. He's like...
Pick it back up.
As you go to pick it up, it's sitting on a stand made out of the sheet's material. You're like,
Right,
let it touch the ground. You're still like, fuck you, you let it touch the ground.
Most pissed off look ever.
He's like, eh. So then he takes back out the item, he unsheathes it from the cloth, and he gives you the cloth. He's like, here, you can have that. Cute, wear it as a scarf or something.
I have an idea what I can use it for. Don't worry.
And then he takes out what you thought was a heart, and he wipes it of mummy goo and dust and grossness. And basically what he's holding is this small, what would appear to be the gearbox of a clock. Like the gears of a clock. Like it literally just looks like this round thing with a few gears that interlock to each other. That's all it looks like. At first. That's what it looks like. And he's kind of just playing around with it a little bit. And as he's playing around with it, you guys are like in mid-conversation. You know, you guys are talking. Belloq's like, hey guys, we should hurry up and get out of this room because I don't like this room anymore. What happened with all of those spikes in the room? We can get past the pit. And then he stops playing with it and you're all like, ow, my head hurts.
Don't do that.
What the fuck was that? Don't do that.
Don't let noise hurt your balls.
Don't do that. Don't do that. And then he puts it back on his side, and it disappears again.
Alright, so should we move to the next one?
And that tone means it's the end of this episode.
So now everybody has an episode of D&D. Calm down. Not a bad noise. We don't care.
Yeah. So everyone, that is the end of this episode. So if you liked it, like, share, subscribe, all that fun shit. And we will see you in the next episode of It's D&D. Live very metal.